Okay, let's just try and do something. Let's get into it. Okay, we got Coco making such a hell of a noise in the background. But nevertheless, always the more. That's what they say. Nevertheless, always the more. Yeah, so we've got the volumes up for me. I'm the one listening, and we're doing it this way. And we're actually recording on both sides now, no? We're recording it, yeah, and we're recording it there. I'm gonna have to listen and see if that one actually works. But nevertheless, we're back into it. So yeah, power's out. We've got lights on, but nobody expected the power to be out. Did you expect the power to be out, Yari?
No.
Okay. So, guys, listen. We're recording this in the darkness of our lounge. I've got my wife here and my kids, the two younger ones. Mira say all over me, man. Don't be like such. Talk to the people. Talk to the people. Just say something. Di madang kalig lihay nik sa talini. En jy is hy eintlik hier nie. Maar jy is hier.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening, mommy. What did mommy tell you now? Speak in the mic.
Oh, she wants to talk a lot.
She
said. Talk a lot.
The mommy said the mommy said she will move away.
No, let us sit there. She's right there. She's right where she is. Okay. The cable is like long now. Are you comfortable with the cable, mommy?
I'm fine with the cable.
Ja, die mommy is doen wat in die studio. We gaan in. Relax. Just chill.
Kan jy 'n koppie tee maak, man?
Nou man, so dan tea gehad.
I had to share my tea
With who?
for the twins.
Oh, both of them.
Yes.
So you guys are
the
here.
most.
Yes, you went like this.
Bubble it up.
Yes.
No, Yadi. That's not right. That's so wrong.
I didn't.
Okay, so yeah, basically, guys, I tried to go online on air and do a show, a radio show, a proper show, because this afternoon I tried to figure out with the cameras and things. It didn't work, and this evening, just before 6, I went upstairs. You guys were watching a movie.
Because you're not helping me at all.
What do you mean by that?
You don't help me at all.
Shark Tale. They were watching Shark Tale. And I thought I could go and do a show, and then poof, out of the blue, Eskom, and the power went out. Uncool. And now we're sitting here. Ek weet nie, daar was heel wiki power outages by ons. And suddenly tonight, unexpected, and I tried to do a live, and nou sy live, sy kan net in die middel gekap met niks vir haar te speel as soon as the power goes on. I'll have to go and check that again. So, mommy, what can you tell us? You all what? You anticipating and you what? You were complaining a lot about the cold today.
It is cold because it said, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, they said on the weather, it's going to approach a cold front. And you can definitely feel the cold front. Even this morning when I went to school, you could feel that breeze in the air. The wind, it's a blazing cold.
You said it wasn't like the other days?
Yes.
Like the past week?
Like last week, Friday, I can remember the washing wasn't even long on the line. It was quickly dry. But now, this week, it's definitely something different that you can feel and you're experiencing this week with the washing. And that's the biggest problem about winter. All the people has that luxury of having a tumble dryer. So everybody just anticipate about on the weather. And that sadly in winter, a lot of people struggle with washing in winters.
Yeah, I remember when they were still small, we were forced to get a tumble dryer, especially in the winter time. Because they were babies, and babies are goed word, mos nie sommer droog nie.
And that's a big lie about people, like they say tumble dryer takes a lot of electricity. It doesn't. it does take electricity,
Obviously, it
but it
would.
doesn't eat a lot of electricity because that's the big myth around about it.
Okay.
Like a lot of people told me, oh no, Tamadara takes a lot of electricity and blah blah. But when we purchased our one and I've used one, you can definitely see it does take a few units, but it doesn't take a lot of
A bulk of it.
Yes, like you
Okay.
can say 50 rand electricity takes up. So
Not like that.
it doesn't
Not
take
that
up
crazy.
like that. And that's the myth. Like when people,
You know what?
buy
What
something,
appliance I think uses the most electricity is this thing behind me.
it's the chest freezer definitely. And what worries me is the fact that they put
This chart.
the
This
chart
energy
on electricity,
efficiency.
yes, efficiency, and it says it's A or B, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I remember from housing.
Yeah, you must know what this stuff means.
It's a B efficiency on the. Unfortunately, you can't get the A in the chest freezers for some reason. I don't know what is the whole reason, electrical reason behind it. But you only get it in a B electrical efficiency. And
Okay, so obviously, the lower the alphabetical letter, the more energy efficient it is. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is what
Okay.
it is.
Have you seen an appliance with an A rating?
Yes, you get A double plus, get A triple plus.
Which appliances is that like?
I think, not to be mistaken, like in most of your ones, if you do your research, like Hisense, your DeFi, you do get DeFi. And then as well, you look at Samsung, which is always on top. Samsung and your Bosch appliances is your on top appliances with electrical efficiencies. And that's the nice thing about Bosch. The Germans always go for something, and they not just for the purpose, for the one purpose, they create something like electrical appliance. There's always a lot of functions and a lot of things that it takes a lot of ticks off.
Okay, like the features you have.
The features, like for instance, the other day when we went to go look at the oven, one thing that I experienced with the DeFi oven is like when you take out the rack and you take out your bread or your biscuits or your roast or anything else, it's whatever you're taking out on the rack. So what happens if you pull it too forward? Because it goes with that little rim. It's like a little hiveltje it makes. And then when you bring it out too much forward, what happens? Your things can fall down. That's on the rack.
Okay.
So it tilt forward, like it can fall, but with Bosch it doesn't.
Oh,
It's got that safety feature.
safety
That's
feature.
something that when I looked at it, it was one of those things that was actually stood out for me as a baker and somebody that used on a daily basis the oven.
Okay.
So in terms of that, same goes back on appliance on the I think it's the top load on Bosch, and also Samsung. I remember the one, if you close the top the lid of the top loaders, now both Samsung and Bosch, it doesn't have that the one like our one have on top. We have the older range, so that's more like your 29, I think 2019, 2018, they upgraded the range. Yes, no, not backwards.
Oh, forward, moving forward.
I think those were the type of things in the reviews they got back from the customers.
In
That
the
what
feedback,
happens,
okay.
the feedback, yes. So when you close, like our top loader is the older range. When you close it, it closes with a bang.
Oh, sort of shuts down closed.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. I know.
Remember, in that term, you have your top loader where you can see through the glass piece. It can break, it can shatter. So what they came out with, now they upgraded it where it has a hinge where it goes slowly close.
Oh, but do you also close it manually with your hand, or would
Also
you need to?
close
Is it
it
the
manually
button
with your
push?
hand.
Oh, manually, but
Manually, but slowly.
Okay.
And what I liked about that one was, for me, that stood out for me, is like it had a built-in basin. It had a built-in basin. So it's, for instance, if you went out maybe like an evening and you spilled some wine on your clothes or beetroot, and you're not gonna wait, maybe your wife, or you're only gonna get to the washing by Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, you won't be
So
able
you
to
don't
do
want
it immediately.
Yes, you don't want it to lay there for so many days without soaking.
Oh.
So that's the part where it allows you to put the clothing, just the one piece of clothing, obviously, not a lot of
It
clothing.
won't be a lot.
So it's got a small basin on top, size of the lid, same size. It actually fits, it clips into the lid.
Okay.
And it allows you to switch on the machine, and then it ejects the water onto the basin.
Okay.
And it got the rivets on the basin where you can use, normally back in the old days, the people used to clean their clothes or wash it on a
stone.
On a stone.
Or slate.
Or a slate or wood.
Yes.
The normal bulk wood.
Mm.
So they normally use it like that with a piece of sunlight soap or whatever
Yes,
soap they use.
yes.
Bingo sip. Going way back
Way
to the
back
90s.
now.
So
The bingo.
they use, then it has the rivets on it, so you can use it or you can wash it like that. So you can soak it on that basin to pre-wash it or soak it, pre-soak it. And then afterwards, it's got a little hole at the back. So the moment when you pushes it up, the water falls down into the machine.
Into the machine,
With
and the water
clothing,
doesn't
it can
go to
slide
waste.
into the machine itself, and then you can start washing. And it has quite a few features that you can also save water. With the fact where Samsung came out with also, they have to save water also. So what happens is like you can wash 2 loads of washing. Okay, then you have to really get your hands into that water and dry out the clothes like you use the water.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you can, but it allows you to reuse that water. And remember, what the automatic washing machine, it takes a lot of washing powder.
Washing powder and water.
Washing powder and water. The thing around about on top loaders is the top loaders it takes the most water than a front loader. It takes 150 liters per wash. A top loader.
That's a lot.
Yes.
So, and that obviously accumulates if you need to do multiple washes and multiple rinses.
Yes.
Wow.
There's some people that wants to rinse twice. Where I feel it's unnecessary for twice to be rinsed. Even though, at least if you can see your washing it's on top the water of your washing. Why need to rinse it twice? But some people have skin problems. Bear in mind of that. And wants to rinse out their clothes twice. So it's totally up to them. But just bear in mind where Samsung came back and they did some reviews or asked the customers and all those type of things, because that is what big brands does. You do your reviews, you ask your customers, how do you feel about this? What is it that you like us to improve
On the item.
So those were the things that people were complaining about. Look at we had this drought and blah blah blah. So it allows you to reuse that cycle of water. So you have to press a certain button where it says, I can't remember precisely what was the name on the button or whatever, but it allows you to reuse the water. So you can do actually 2 loads in there.
Wow, that's interesting news, mommy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a bit more informed when it comes to the rivets and the water saving things of the washing machines. I've always been a fan of Samsung, by the way. I think
It's a very good brand as well. I've never, like, for instance, if I got a lot of customers that comes and ask me, what is your best brand? And I always had to say to them, you know what? If I have to choose and I had the money, I would look in between. I will always be towards it between Samsung and Bosch. Definitely.
Okay.
LG. I don't know. But LG is also good, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
LG is definitely, I was blown away.
By some of their things.
Yes, of the features of their one washing machine. I don't think I'll ever, even if I have to be a millionaire, I will never be able or never
consider
feel the urge of buying myself a 25,000 washing machine.
Damn it.
So it's a big...
Vou die dinge klere op ook.
It's a front loader, so actually it's just tilted to the back. So it allows you, it's 12 kg. And then at the bottom, it's like a small little washing machine also at the bottom.
Huh? To do what?
So you use that for like if you have a baby, a newborn baby, obviously. So
Okay.
it allows you to separate the clothes from your clothing washing.
Oh, it doesn't mix the clothes.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, the sexy lingerie for us is using, the delicate ones. I don't want that to get torn apart.
Okay, I
all
see.
The, rest of
The sensitive
washing.
materials.
Yes, there you go.
The sensitive
Or
materials.
for people also with children, small children with sensitive skins, or people with sensitive skins.
Mm.
But the technology is just crazy.
Technology is moving forward every day. Technology should improve, and then in the same breath, the aftercare service of the thing should also improve. Because I mean, it's no use bringing out a thing of what you said, 25,000, and something goes wrong, and just because they had all this bells and whistles on the item, the guys technically are not clued up to be able to tell you if there might be a problem. But I wanted to ask you also, you've mentioned Samsung, and you said you still a bit, how can I say, hoe sê die Afrikaanse man, tweesen rondom die LG brand. It was in the boom in the best rondom my LG product. An item that I actually know, or brand name that I actually know, I get a correct, or a first time response from you, and I want the listeners to hear this. What do you think of DeFi?
Honestly, I was blown away. On the first thing is when I have a problem with something and I'm calling the call center and the after service is so crap. That tells me a lot about that. That's how I felt afterwards of selling them. Why should I promote your product where the after service is first thing is bad? Secondly, your quality of your product is not like the way it used to be years ago when we grew up with DeFi.
We grew up with DeFi 30, 35, 40 years ago. DeFi was in almost every household. Whether we went to my grandmother's house, to my mother's place, aunt's place, DeFi used to be a top brand. And I think I've told you the story before, but I want to share it with the listeners. I had a customer once and he said he had such huge problems with DeFi. And when he mentioned DeFi, I immediately told him what my wife said. I immediately told him what you said. Jy sê wel niks van die brand win nie. Die mense se after sale service is bad. And look, it's one thing hearing one person saying something. It's another if two or more people has the same experience and say the same thing. What he told me was he had to get his fridge booked in. Because there was something went wrong. It was still under guarantee, and it was to and fro with them, not being able to pick up the purchase on their side, and eventually he proved them wrong that this thing was still under guarantee. They were supposed to come and collect it. He waited for them all day because they agreed on a certain time for them to come through to Mamre to come and pick it up, and they never pitched. The following day, he had another appointment out in Pau. And he was there for less than half an hour when someone from DeFi phoned him and told him that they are on their way. No, they were in fact at his door waiting for him. And then he argued with him, but we had an appointment for yesterday, you never came. What are you doing in front of my house now? Nee, ons is hier en hulle wil die ding nou optel and the man came all the way from Paul to Mamre, drove all the way, left his gathering where he was to come through to Mamre. When he got here, the DeFi people have left without any explanation, without telling him nothing. And to me, that just tells you what they think and feel about customers and customer service as a whole, which is bad. Whether it's one person, look, business and companies will always have one person who might step out of line and not do what they're supposed to. But it appears as though within the company itself, it's more than one person. The bad customer service is so deeply rooted within the company. So it basically means it doesn't matter which department you phone, you're going to get the same lousy service. That's what I'm thinking.
And back on that, people spend their money on the product and you expect the product to live up to its standards.
Yes, and the thing is, they had such a bright name 30 years ago, and that is why people will still go for them.
Yes, that and there was one customer who asked me one day, if I really have to go lower, because look, I don't have the money for the Samsung or the Bosch, whatever the case may be. What are your 2 lowest brands? And I asked them, you want the lowest first? And then I can go a little bit upper.
For the mid-range.
Just to the mid-range. And then I definitely had to go with KIC.
As the lowest or the mid-range?
No, I'm lying actually. I think it was DeFi, then it was KIC, and
okay.
then it was Hisense.
Okay, so went in
and
that
then they
order.
looked at me, yes, Hisense. And I said, yes.
You know, Hisense surprised everybody.
Sorry, I have a lot of them on my chest. But yes, so they were like, and I said to them, you know what? Why would I promote Hisense? Not because the factory is in Atlantis where we're staying, but the type of after service that they're giving.
Okay.
And I always look at my comebacks. For me as a salesperson, I have to know what is my poorest product.
Which item ends up back on the shop floor
it's gonna
with
be a problem.
complaints.
The customer's gonna come and say, gonna make a noise in my head, and they're probably not ever gonna come back again and come and purchase from me. And now that I've guided and I told them about what is gonna be the main problem they're gonna sit with. So the main problem with KIC is good. There was 2 problems standing out with KIC. They frosting up a lot. The second thing is their decibels. The noise decibel is the noise that you hear when your fridge go on and off.
Okay.
With their fridge or their appliance, you could hear it.
Wow.
Definitely, you could pick it up. You will make it funny.
People even complain and write about that.
I think that being in the appliance, a lot of people didn't want to be in appliance because of that. Because you really have to have the knowledge.
In-depth knowledge, if you ask me.
When you're explaining to a customer, you really have to know what you're talking about.
You might not be able to hear this, but I just need to do this for you with the in-depth knowledge on the appliances. Because I know there are guys who also doesn't know much about appliances.
Yes,
I mean, I'm a consumer. I'm a shopper, and when I go in, more often than not, I would have Googled up on an item. More often than not, I would have educated myself on what the features are and what the benefits are, and I would just expect a salesperson to throw some of those and be informed, be knowledgeable, and be informed, and be able to actually tell me more.
And that is the biggest problem that we have here in Atlantis. Like when you go to any type of shop that I picked up, I'm not glued up to everything. That's not what I say. But I like somebody. But yeah, you won't get that always. What you give to people.
Yeah, you don't. Unfortunately, not. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
In a perfect world, we would have all loved to have that.
Yes, to get that. And it amazed me always. Like how many people from Langebaan, from Friedenberg, where else now?
Up on the west coast.
Yes, straight up.
Veldrift.
They came from there. Where was this other people coming from? Yes, was also in Langebaan. But it's like people from far. I had customers really from far.
They drove past Atlantis.
There's people came from town.
And just to paint a picture for the listeners, where did you work?
At house in
Senna, that's Sunningdale.
Yes.
And there's so many other appliance stores, retailers who they pass by
and they come there.
Yeah, okay.
So that tells you a lot. Why is it the biggest problem? I always try to think for myself the other day when I was thinking, we need to get obviously we have to upgrade to a building over now and all that. Where can I go more? And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, that's why a lot of people think just when you see something on the TV, like, oh, okay, I forgot about that place. Okay, they show it to you. And I think that's the other thing also that most of us as colored people, we're scared of when going to places, big places. I've never been to us. I've never been to us for as long as I know. I've worked at house, or in appliance.
And I mean, they were sort of your direct competition.
Yes, I've never been to there.
Never been there. But one thing I can say is that you're not scared to go to these
Yes, I'm
places.
not scared.
The other day, something that you've been wanting to do for a while is going to Tekofun.
To take
And we went there.
There was also
We
a
browsed over there.
competition, like people like to tell you, oh, I went there and I got this plasma stand for so many bucks and so many bucks, and this is ridiculous, this price. So yeah, I went there for the first time. I actually went there to go and see what do they sell, and they saw a good few things. But the other thing that actually put me off was you have to pay for assembling.
Oh.
Whereas house and home, you didn't pay for assembling.
Assembling was an added extra.
Yes.
If you wanted it, if you wanted to assemble yourself, you could. But if you wanted staff to assemble, then they would do it for you.
And the other thing is what we as salespeople normally did is like we gave always, if we know we want this deal and want this customer service to be on top notch,
Then you would offer.
then I'll offer him a 50 rand out of my pocket
For who now?
for the general assistant.
Oh, for the general assistant.
Remember, they don't have just my job of assembling and things. So now maybe I want that guy is coming back, the customer is coming back, maybe in an hour's time. So now I'm paying him maybe a 50 rand. And I tell him, listen, yeah,
Buy you a drink.
yes, or I buy him a drink or whatever the case may be.
But then the item gets assembled.
It gets
the customer
assembled.
gets it. He's happy because
He's
he's
happy,
getting the
I'm
service
happy, he's
without
happy.
having to pay extra for the
Exactly.
assembly of the
So
item.
that was the other thing also
Wow.
there. You have to pay now for assembling, and I was like, wow. Okay, you can't get. Yes, back on the type of customer service also.
Yeah, I still want this topic I want to touch on again,
Yes.
but go ahead.
Customer service, retail customer service is the worst you get. Is the worst, except unprofessional.
Unprofessionalism.
That's I'm talking about the employees in the place as well, like the shouting, the music is playing, so it creates that ambience in the store. And now you know all this R&B songs and all this gom songs, you know,
And you sing along.
and you want to sing
twerk
out, and
along.
the ambience now in the store. Imagine now. I was standing the other day in Mr. Price. I was standing there with a few items. I think I went back for exchange. And I'm looking at those cashiers because the queue was so long. I was standing there. And this guy started to sing. And not only singing, he was starting to dance. And we waiting in the
Oh
queue
my goodness.
to get help. And it's becoming now like you could have gone to the club, ma. And those were the type of things that we were never allowed. Our boss was so strict. Yes, he had his time when we can really show off and
Just be relaxed and think.
yes, but being unprofessional like that, no. Oh no, we never had that. And that just brings it back why the head office decides they choose their type of
The
music.
type of music that gets played.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, there's times when we go to our local shop right here. En dan is like het. Ek het nie 'n probleem met musiek
But it's
wat anders
changed.
is. Yeah, I know it doesn't happen. There was a while back where the music was so bloody loud. You literally feel as you want to leave your trolley and walk out.
Yeah, because most of the time you forgot why you came there. There's no credit.
Loud music in stores just creates a distraction. It just creates a distraction.
The fact that you always get distracted about on customers or people that you know. The first words coming out of their mouth, oh my word, I'll walk away. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being rude,
Yeah.
but it feels literally like I feel you can earn a fee. Ek wil so net gehoor wat kan ek gebruik. Those are the words.
Ek wil goed.
Ek is so bly ek sien vir jou. Ek begin net vir jou wou, wat kan ek gebruik?
Oh my goodness. Sê hoe weer, ek is so bly.
Even my kid says, yes, mommy, it's so annoying. Why they like to use that? My daughter said the other day, they like asking me that. Ek is so bly ek sien nou vir jou. Jou gabby jou. Yo, I'm telling you, if for every person that you get in ShopRite when we go and shop, you made a lot of money just for that hour or 2 hours that we're in ShopRite.
Yeah. Look, they do come. They do come, and I know you do walk away.
Because I also want to get done what I want to do.
I got a customer of mine the other day. I was on lunch, and I didn't see her at first. Then she waved, and I waved back, and I went to and I greeted her. And then she said, she actually thought, she said me if I was on lunch or if I was off. I said, no, I'm just on a break. I'm going back in after a while. And then she asked me, "Die dame wat nou die dag saam jou was, is dit jou vrou?" Ek sê, ja, it was my wife, was my vrou gewees. Ja, maar ek sien dat jou hand op my lyf gesit. En hulle sê, ja, is my vrou. Maar nou, hoekom is jy nie vir haar voorgestel? Ek sê, my vrou is al moeg van voorgestel word. En al moeg van mense ontmoet.
I can't give you names. Not either their names. I'm bad with names.
Bad with names.
But I think you must host something or a topic one day or in the week or maybe tomorrow whenever you have a chance. Cover things like few stuff that people's gonna suffer now in winter.
Oh no, definitely, yeah. Let's do another Medicine Man podcast.
Like cough medicines for different type of coughs. Also like fevers, like children, especially covering on children, because that's where we get
stuff that I saw a lot now is especially with kids. Fever, phlegm on the chest.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this phlegm is a terrible thing.
Runny nose. All those type of things. I heard the other thing by my one friend. Oh my word, that was the worst advice ever I've ever heard before.
What?
So she had a kidney infection as well. I had the week before bad kidney infection, and I'm telling you bad. And then I asked her how's it going, and she said she's feeling weak and all this and this and that, and it's aching. And then she told her sister to give her advice. She must use the camphor blocks. You know camphor blocks? The ones that I used to sew on the kids' chest.
Everybody still, a lot of people still come and look for those here at the shop where I work. It clicks, but we don't stock it anymore.
Yes, but you find it on the old center by Ali's Chemist.
Ali's have it, and probably the bookshop also.
Yes, definitely.
What was she told about the camphor blocks?
Oh my word, her sister told her throw boiling water on it and drink it. And first thing that came up in my mind, it's oily. It's not meant for consuming.
You would use that maybe as to steam with.
To steam what? Yes.
Maybe she understood her sister wrong.
No, I don't know, because I asked her and she says no, and she said she felt so nauseous.
Oh my goodness.
Now I can that's why I say you must cover up a few like advice for people, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there.
No, I will definitely do something over the weekend.
Like things that's confusing people, like the ACC. People think ACC is it's like for flu. It is for flu, but it's meant for phlegm. And
not for...
in our colored people always get mixed up when Auntie Dinges tell you this.
Ja, iemand op die pak het gesê, my ma se vriend het gesê.
Wat vir my gewerk het, gaan nie vir jou gewerk het nie.
Exactly.
And that's where the confusion comes with, and I told her, how could you even down that camphor blocks, the liquid, only just the liquid by itself.
Visolie.
It's camphor, like if you think of camphor, what you call it, mental camphor.
Mental camphor, yeah.
We grew up with mental camphor in our house and Vicks.
So you can imagine hoe ze gevoel het.
Imagine, yes. And remember, bear in mind, she's high blood pressure
patient also.
Patient as well.
Yeah.
Back on that. I like police.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she's feeling a lot better now.
Yes, after I told her, drink citrus soda.
Okay.
And a lot of fluids, and also the cranberry juice. And then she told me
to have
received a gift for Mother's Day with cranberry juice, and she's gonna drink that right away now. That I mean, like things like that, people getting, it's nice to get boerenraad, ou mensraad. But not.
But you know what? The problem, die ou mensraad, die boerenraad, die huisraad, daar's altyd 'n steurtjie in wat jy daar hoort.
Yes.
It always gets mixed up. By the time you get the recipe, it's not what it's supposed to be. You're getting a crumb nonsense, and yeah, I've always learned that for waxing the ear, you would use sweet oil to soften it, and hopefully soften it to the extent where it would be able to come out on its own. I've heard people use all sorts of oils now, like eucalyptus oils, or I can't even remember. But I know what they told me was definitely not sweet oil.
Yeah, it is sweet oil.
Sweet oil is the one.
But not eucalyptus.
Not eucalyptus. Not
That's a bit dangerous.
olive oil.
I know the eucalyptus is what I tried last year.
It's also as an inhalation.
Yes, it works like a bomb. Because I remember when I used that with the towel on the kid's head, they started to sneeze from left to right.
With the warm water
Yes,
to
with
inhale
the
it.
boiling water in the...
You know what? That stuff flew off our shelves when COVID started. Eucalyptus oil. Die winkels kon nie byhou nie. Clicks kon nie byhou nie. Meerderheid kon nie byhou nie. Wat is die Afrikaanse naam? Eucalyptus oil. Just at the moment it landed on the shelf, it was sold. Because everybody used that to steam with, to inhale.
Even bloekom, I think also
Dat is hom. Dis bloekomolie.
bloekomolie.
Dat is eucalyptus. Dat is die Afrikaanse naam. Bloekomolie. It just flew off the shelf.
Those are all things we're having in this house. So my word.
Yeah, there's sometimes when an item goes out of stock at work, and then I come home first to check and see if we have it. The other day I was so super excited when you told me that you discovered a bottle of Coflem. It goes
Volle bottle.
volle bottle. Die kinders se bors, sy toe kyk na hoe gaat.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody
After
had a flame.
this flu is not like your normal.
Oh, I
flu.
told the
Yes,
customer that the other day. This new flu is terrible.
It always has something, it left something behind, yeah. Like, for instance, I don't like antibiotics. I'm not a fan of tablets and going to the doctor. I'll try and doctor myself. But down the line, there's always something it left behind. It leaves behind something. And one thing it left behind was the flame on my chest. Like, seriously, I'm still suffering from it.
From with it.
But one thing also, like, you must also drink water, lots of fluids and stuff.
Yeah, to maybe
So, yeah.
thin it out and be able to expel it a lot better. Well, we're just about over half an hour into the chat. Do you still want to continue? Can we stop a bit and go on a bit later? Oh, koppie sal lekker gewees het. Listeners, I'm gonna go off quickly. Ek gaan vir my vrou 'n koppie tea maak. Daar is mos daarom nog 'n gaste over in die huis. And it's really been nice chatting to you, mommy. You must come in again. And yeah, was chat net, man. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was fun.
It was fun.
No pressure.
No pressure
I
at
like
all.
no pressure and no lights. Not
Lekker in die donkerte.
donkerte.
In die donkerte. For those of you who don't know, if you've just joined us, die krag is af hier by ons in Atlantis. And it was so unexpected. Die hele week, wat die schedule gesê, is loadshedding between 5 and 10. En het was hier af by ons. En dan skielik vanaand, toe ek iets wil doen, dus het poef, dus het af. But yeah,
It was meant to be.
it was meant to be. It was a lekker chat.